Hello, welcome to episode 2. We have a name now, not just the No Name Podcast. Our podcast is No Name, Just Vibes. Welcome to episode 2. I'm Mike.
Janaea.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed episode 1. I got a lot of, I don't know about you, but I got a lot of good feedback on episode 1. People like to hear it. People like it. And that's what I'm about. I'm not like super big like on the numbers. Whoever listens to it is going to listen to it. But I want the people that listen to it to enjoy it, no matter if it's just one or if it's a million. I want them to enjoy it. Yeah, but we got a name now. No Name, Just Vibes, and we back. How you doing?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
What you been up to this week?
Okay, you know how I said I don't want to have a 9 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
I may have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah?
I'm stressed. You know, because I've been sitting here like, I really want to do the acting thing, but I got to get money now. I'm trying to get a G-Wagon. Like, I'm trying to get a mansion.
You got Alexis. You out here rolling. You got Alexis. You balling already.
But I want a G-Wagon.
I feel it.
Okay?
I feel it.
So I'm just
feel
like, how does everyone hustle? I don't know how to do it.
You gotta...
Like, I know, like, there's a lot of jobs for men, but, like, hustling as a female, like, I don't know. Like, what do I do?
You can do a lot of the same stuff. For me, and see, I was like that. Like, my cousin, shout out to my cousin Blaze. This dude is been about $1 his whole life. And he's his mother's only kid, and his mom has always given him everything. He's got all the new clothes, all the everything. She's a great mom. Auntie's a great mom. But even though with him getting everything, he's always been about $1. Whether he was selling toy guns, candy, dogs, other things. Like he's always been about $1.
Yeah.
Like always been about $1. And I used to think like, you must gotta be born with that, because I wasn't like that before. Like I used to tell my friends that had jobs in high school, like I don't want a job. Yeah. I'm cool with chilling. I'm gonna get a job when I'm supposed to get a job. I don't want a job right now. Yeah. But I kind of like, I used to always think like, I wish I had that
that drive.
Yeah,
like
I was about to say a hustler spirit. But no, that's what it is, like a hustler spirit to go get $1. But I developed it over time, because I got to a point where, like you said about not wanting a 9 to 5, I got to the point where I was like, I don't want a 9 to 5. And it kind of worked out like perfect right while I was kind of struggling with like, this 9 to 5 stuff is kind of whack. And then I got fired. So it was like a blessing in disguise, you know. Yeah. Nobody wants to get fired, but it was like, all right, well, now you ain't got no excuse. You don't have a 9 to 5, so you might as well go hard at what you want to do. But nah, I guess that's my long-winded way of saying I developed it by diving into things that I love. Yeah. Like the first thing I was doing was like I was training basketball. Like I was a coach, and then I started training. Yeah, and that kind of, I tore my ACL and had surgery and was down for a long time. Yeah, and then when I got back on my feet, most of my kids had moved on to different trainers. So I was still getting work, but it wasn't like I couldn't justify how much time I was spending on it, like weighing it next to the money I was making. And so I was like, I could really like grind and go hard and try to get my clientele back up and really try to build this up, which would have been a smart idea. Or I could just find another passion to dive into, which ended up being all this camera stuff, and it's really working out for me now. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, I think you just gotta, like, whatever you love, you just gotta find a way to tap into it and dive into it. That's what I think.
I'm more on the artistic side.
Me too.
But you just don't make a lot of money. Like, if I was a painter, I would probably have myself in the Galleria. Like, I would do that big, but I don't know.
Do you like kids? I said no.
I like kids, but it's like, I don't like watching. Like, I don't want to watch.
I feel it. Cause I used to tell all like my younger female cousins, they be talking like wanting money to do this and do that. I'm like, girls got it easy. You could just babysit. And me, like I did childcare for almost 15 years. Like I love kids, but you can't just be a dude like, hey, I'll babysit your kids. People are like, bro, why you? Yeah. What are you doing?
I used to watch my niece and nephew. It's not for me.
I feel it. I've been chilling this week though. Been keeping busy. You know, editing all the shows that I produce, and not even the ones that I produce, just the ones that I film for and everything. So I've been good, just keeping busy, hanging out with my kids during the day, and then shooting and editing at night, and that's pretty good. Oh, can I talk about that yet? I guess I won't give his name, but I told you about it off camera, but I can't. Did I? Anyway, I interviewed this dude that just wrote a TV show.
Really?
Yeah, and he's got like some really rich and famous people in his TV show. And I got to interview him. It was really dope. This other this other platform. I feel weird talking about it without giving names. It's like, nigga, just talk about it. But I don't know if I'm allowed to yet, so I gotta be careful. A platform reached out to me about a month ago and was like, hey, this guy wrote this TV show. He's from right here in San Diego. We set up an interview with him, but none of us do that. And we've been seeing you doing interviews, and we think you're pretty good at it. So
yeah, you are.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. That means a lot for real. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so I got to meet him, interview him, talk about the show, him being from San Diego, his background playing professional baseball and getting into TV and film. And then like, dude was mad cool. We ended up kicking it like after the show and chopping it up with him and stuff. I got to actually went over to I'm going back to his house tomorrow, but went over to his house the next day, I believe, to edit the interview. He and I together, so that's really dope. And I've never, for this to be my first experience with someone reaching out to me like, hey, we want you to interview this guy. For me and they just like, they didn't have like a set process or certain questions they wanted me to ask. They're like, nah, we like what you do, just do what you do. So for me to have like the freedom to ask and do interviews my way, and then for me to be the one editing it is really dope. I'm like, I want all my jobs moving forward to be like this, where I have full creative control, you know what I mean?
Because as a creative, like, don't tell me what to do.
Right.
I'm the creative one. Just tell me you want me to do the interview. Right. I got it from here.
Facts. But if they were to be like, we just want you to talk to them, we'll take care of everything else, that would be completely understandable. Like, I get that. Like, all you need from me is the interview. You don't, that's not what you do, so let me handle that. But the fact that I have, he and I together have all the creative control is really dope.
Yeah, that's
really, really dope. I've been really excited about that. I can't wait for that to come out. Like I said, we're gonna finish editing the interview tomorrow. Like by the time y'all see this, we'll be done editing and everything. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. I wish I could talk more about it, but I'm really excited about that. It's really, 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 really fun experience. That's all I've been up to though. Same stuff all the time with me. Hanging out with my kids and then shooting and editing. That's about it. Got a new client. I got a new client this week, a football trainer. Well, I was already working with him, but like we, made it like official and established some, like set up monthly pay and everything. So that was really dope.
Oh, you hitting the gym? Is that what you mean?
No, I'm filming for this football.
Oh!
I wish dude is diesel. I might wanna get in the gym with him. Dude is diesel. But no, I do need to get back in the gym though. I ain't got no motivation. I got all the stuff I need. I got the elastic bands, I got the 30-pound dumbbells.
Really?
Yeah, I got it's not like an actual workout bench, but I have a bench that I could use to work out.
Yeah.
I got everything I need. My little brother is like super good at putting workouts together. I got everything I need. I just don't have the motivation.
You definitely have to have the motivation. Because I was working out, I was like, I want to be fine this summer. And then like I went to Miami and I just like stopped working out for that. And then like this week I was like, I gotta get back. I can work out fast and I'll get my body quick. Like so I can still be good for the summer. But I need to some motivation.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just like and I'm a morning person, so I have to work out in the morning. If I eat, it's a wrap.
Right.
I can't eat.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I just got it from me, and like, I'm all jacked up. Like, I just, for real, like, my eating pattern is all jacked up. Like,
really?
A lot of the times, to be honest with you, I don't even eat until like 1 or 2 p.m. for real. For real, like, no gas. I wake up, and I'll be a little bit hungry. And like my morning routine, especially if I wake up like hours before my kids, I'm like, all right, I'll grab a coffee. I'll lay around for a little bit.
You drink coffee.
Grab a coffee and then I'll just start editing. And I'll be hungry and I'll be done with the coffee. And I'll just go and make a new cup and just have like 2 or 3 cups of coffee. And
well, it's a suppressant. You're not gonna want to eat.
and like I said, it'd be jacking me up because I'll be like editing and like in the zone and it'll just hit me out of nowhere and I'll get the shakes crazy because I've been drinking all that coffee. But like, all right, I gotta go get some food and then I'll be snapping at my kids. I'll be all, and I gotta check myself like, all right, bro, go get something to eat. You being super mean to the kids. Go get something to eat.
I can't do coffee. I literally feel like a crackhead.
You know what?
I can't. It's like a drug to me. I'll just be like.
My boy put me on it. We went out one night. I think it was I had work the next day. So we went out, I think on a Thursday. Yeah. We used to go out for the little Thirsty Thursdays in North Park. We went out and that was what it was. He was trying to like get me back rapping and get me back in the music zone. So we were supposed to wake up early and go to his house.
You rap?
I used to.
What?
In high school, and then I probably started like sophomore year in high school, and then I probably stopped after I got back from LA, so like 2009.
What? I need to hear some jams.
I have to put on like I have to pull up like my whole MySpace or something.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know where any of my music is, but I'll try to find something for you and show you. I used to think I was pretty good. I don't know if I listened back to him a couple years ago, and I was like, I used to be showing this to people like, yo, check me out. I'm like, it ain't really all that.
Really?
What was this? Oh, but that was what it was. So we went out about me, how I got into drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm.
We went out and I had a few too many, woke up with a headache, and I'm trying to like focus, like turn music on and write, and I got this pounding headache. I'm like, bro, this headache is getting me. He's like, bro, drink some coffee. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't mess with coffee. He's like, I'm telling you, bro, have some coffee. It's gonna wake you. It's gonna snap you right back. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. I had some, and it did exactly that. I felt like, it doesn't work for me like this every time, but I promise you, I felt like as soon as I sipped it, I was like, whew, let's go. It happened just like that. And I was like, I'm gonna keep messing with coffee, and that was like 2 years ago. I've been drinking coffee ever since.
Really?
At least a cup a day ever since, for real.
Have you ever had caffeine pills?
No.
Ooh, don't do it.
No?
Crackhead. Like,
Okay.
you'll be up like, I want to go to sleep. Oh my gosh, they're literally the worst.
Yeah?
The worst. I can't do
Good
it.
to know. Good to know. You know what I think really messed me up? I work for KUSI PPR. Prep Pigskin Report, for those who don't know. And I would be up like at the KUSI station editing, because we'd have to like edit the game that you just did so it can make it to TV. You gotta edit content for Instagram, and you gotta edit content for other things. And then me, I wanted to have personal content for my own. I'm trying to build my own thing, so I just be in there editing. And I'll be in there, and they got limited coffee, so I just be in there just drinking the coffee, like, cause I'd be tired, like working. And this is when I still had a 9 to 5, so I work my job. And it was only Friday nights, but I worked my job on Friday, get off to KUSI, and be exhausted, still trying to stay awake. So I was just drinking coffee, staying awake, and now it turned me into an addict for real. Yeah. I've been trying to wean myself up, but I love coffee. I'm not even gonna lie. I really like coffee.
Who's the best coffee?
I don't even know the brand of it. I just know what the box looks like. I get it at Vons. I don't know the brand, and it ain't black on either, so I don't need to be shopping on that anyway. But yeah, it's a, you know what? I used to drink the 7-Eleven coffee. And
Me too. My best friend put me on that.
And I was drinking it, and it was like, I forget. Anyway, I ended up on the Vons coffee. After I drink the Vons coffee, now when I go back to the 7-Eleven coffee, I'll be like, it don't really hit the same.
Have you had Dunkin' Donuts?
I haven't. Everybody says that's the best.
That's the
And
best.
I've never had it. Okay.
And I don't even mess with coffee, but oh my gosh, it's delicious.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have to try it. You know what? I listen to the Joe Budden podcast, and he talk about Dunkin' Donuts coffee all the time.
Oh, it's delicious.
I'm gonna have to get on it. All right, we 13 minutes in. Let's jump into some of these topics. You see, like again, we're not gonna dwell on the person. We're gonna more so talk about the topic. But you see what everybody's been talking about this week with Paul Pierce and losing his job because of his social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm laughing because he said we're not gonna talk about the people.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about him too much. Like I said,
no. That's messed up. Honestly, like to me, I wouldn't fire nobody over that.
No.
Like, no, because to me, it's like I saw the video. For those he's doing a sports show. He's not doing nothing serious. Like to me, it's like true. He's partying. Yeah, you stupid for videotape. Like, why would you? Did you see her in the back?
Yeah, it's like,
what are you doing?
I'm sure everyone knows, but for those who don't know, we're talking about Celtics, NBA and Celtics legend Paul Pierce, who was an analyst for ESPN. He's having some kind of poker night or poker party at his house or with his homies or something. Had girls, half naked girls dancing. He's smoking a blunt, drinks everywhere. He put the video out, and then ESPN fired him. And so that's what we're talking about. Yeah. But I was gonna ask you, if you have a company, say like you whatever company, like you got an acting studio. That's what you want to do, right? And I'm like one of your producers, or I'm like somebody a prominent person that people know I work for your company. And I put that out there. You wouldn't think I'm like making your company look bad, or it's a poor reflection on your company? You wouldn't think that?
That's a poor reflection on you, not me. Like,
right.
You put it out there.
Right.
To me, I don't go that in depth on stuff. If it's something very serious, he's over here having a party. Like, okay, if that's who he wants to party with, that's who he wants to party with. But he's not like out here committing mass murders. You know what I mean? Like doing outrageous things. Like, maybe you shouldn't have put that on the internet. But if you wanted to, whatever. Like, I'll probably talk to him, like, you should have did that. But I'm not gonna fire you. No.
And see, to your point about it being a poor reflection on the individual, that's true. But I think the way these corporations and companies look at it is, like, yeah, granted, it wasn't us, ESPN, that was doing that.
Yeah.
But if you think that was a poor, like, life choice or a poor choice, right? It means, like, people could, I'm sure the reason why he got fired is people could say, like, yeah, it's a poor reflection on him, but you hired him. So if you allow one of your employees, you know he living like that, and you allow him to behave that way, it's kind of a poor reflection on your company too, no? No? I don't think he should have gotten fired, but I 100% understand why they did fire him, for sure.
But he's talking about basketball.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, maybe you don't know, ESPN is owned by Disney. And Disney is like, friendly, kitty, you know what I'm saying?
But
so it's
nobody's
like,
thinking about, I didn't even know that. But nobody's thinking about Disney.
I feel it, but like I said, I don't think he should have.
They shouldn't have fired
I don't
him.
think so, but I understand.
They should have took him to the side in private and told him something.
So you don't think social media should be able to get you fired from your job, like in any capacity?
In any capacity, if you're a horrible human being, absolutely.
What's a horrible human being?
A horrible human being would be somebody that's just flat out, you're out of control, ridiculous, you're evil, like you hate people, like that kind of stuff. Like you go out of your way to do disgusting things.
I see.
But you having a party, that's how I party. You just don't want to see me party.
Right,
That's who I am. You know what I mean?
100%. I heard something about I don't know how true it is, but I heard something about that ESPN said, like, say if he were just at a party enjoying himself and someone filmed him and put it out, then they wouldn't have fired him. But the fact that he filmed it himself and put it out is why he got fired. Which I don't really understand.
What was the firing part? Because he had half-naked ladies twerking on the floor, or was it because he was smoking a blunt? Like, what was... He's not them. He got his clothes on. They know exactly what they're doing. Like, you know you're being filmed right now. Isn't something where it's like, I didn't know he was... No, you knew exactly what he was doing. And you're over there shaking your... Come on!
And like, you know how NBA players give it up. Like, I don't want to say that.
Well,
you know how,
they're not all like that, but the lifestyle is like that.
Right.
So if that's the case, fire all of them because that's how they're partying. Okay?
Well, all of them not putting it out there. Like for me, like I used to work in childcare, right? And like I flat out, I'm going to say it. I don't work there anymore. I have like legitimately had like supervisors and directors say like, look, y'all work with kids. We know when y'all leave work, y'all enjoying some type of vice to chill out because you're working with kids for 4 to 8 hours a day. So I know some of y'all drink, I know some of y'all smoke, I know y'all do something to kind of relax yourself at the end of the day. Yeah. But you work with kids. Don't put it out there for everybody to see. And I guess that's kind of the same thing. Like
that's not the same thing to me. You work with kids. Like you shouldn't be out of control like that anyway.
But look at it like this. And again, I don't think he should have gotten fired, but I understand why. Look at it like this. We already know every sport caters to the masses, but they cater to kids as well. They want the kids to buy the jerseys. They want the kids to come to the games. They want kids to buy tickets. And if you know, and they market sports as sporting events as family events. Like they sell packages in fours, like family pack of tickets. True, they have like family sections, and they market it like they market to kids. And if I'm marketing to kids, and one of my people on TV is engaging in something that's obviously not kid friendly, and he putting it out there for everybody, it's like
I don't see it like that. ESPN is for. This is how I see it. ESPN is for men that like to watch sports, or women, whatever. But to me, it's the most of the people are men that watch that. It's not like it's the basketball game. You know what I mean? Like that's a whole different thing. I look at ESPN as that's ESPN. If he want, like, he shouldn't be fired.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what if LeBron did that, and then the Lakers wanted to fire him? Would that be?
First of all, LeBron is a married man. I would be
okay.
hurt.
Well, let's take somebody that's single. I didn't mean. You're right. My bad, LeBron.
I would be hurt.
Let's take. I don't know who all is anybody's situation. But let's take a single person. Let's assume that the point guard for the Lakers, Dennis Schroeder, or the guy, the center they just got, Andre Drummond, anybody. Let's assume one of these athletes for the Lakers is single, not married, no kids, nothing. And the whole world knows they're single, and they make that same exact video and put it out. Would the Lakers be justified in firing him?
No, they shouldn't fire him.
Really? That is what?
Wow.
I didn't expect.
Give people chances. Like
chances
for
what?
Like don't do that again. Like come on. You know good or well you shouldn't have filmed that. So if that was my person, I would have said it like that. Like don't do that. Come on.
But then doesn't that mean you gotta give everybody a chance to get one off them?
No, I'm gonna talk to the whole team. I'm like,
then you have 15 incidents.
Don't be putting this video out there. Y'all know good and well this is making us look bad. But you know what? He got his chance. Nobody else can do it. Or you're not playing up the next game.
Oh, so you still wouldn't fire him? You would just suspend him?
No, I'm not firing you over that. You made a bad decision. That was stupid. Some people do that when they're drunk and they're high. Like, honestly, just give him a chance. Give him his job back.
That's a slippery slope. Shout out to Paul Pierce, man. I like Paul Pierce. I mean, he was just enjoying life. Man, been married for 10 years, newly divorced. He just enjoying life, man.
He?
Yeah. Oh. He's just enjoying life, man. I understand, but I don't agree. For sure.
Really?
Yeah, I don't agree.
But it's not like he's working with kids or he over here. If he was a doctor, I would be concerned. Like that's what I would be like, But he's talking about sport. Like to me, it's like, what's your job?
You gotta play it safe. Like they gotta cater to everybody. That's why it's like you can't. I guess that's different. I was gonna say you can't like make derogatory statements, but that's different. But nah, I understand it. For sure. Speaking of social media, I've been noticing not lately. It's been happening for a while now, but it hit more closely to home with me with somebody that I know, with people letting social media get to their head. Right? I know a dude that he says for business purposes he bought his followers. A lot of people don't know this. If I aired him out right now, a lot of people be like, I thought it. People will be like, I knew that nigga, because when somebody got 2,000 followers and then you wake up the next day and they almost at 30K, like come on, and you didn't have no video that went viral, you wasn't on TV and everybody seen you and hit follow. It just overnight.
It's getting to be too much out here in these streets.
So this dude bought his followers for business purposes. He's saying when he approaches these companies and these different people that he's working with,
so you're a fraud.
He's like, hey, I got like y'all hire me. I got a fan base of 22.4 thousand. That if you hire me, they gonna be tapping into to whatever I'm doing. So you might as well rock with me. And that's what he said. That's what he said.
Why must people lie? Like, first of all, it's fraudulent. You're a liar. I don't want to work with you. But why is it that serious for you to buy social media? Clearly, you're not popping. That's what that tells me. You ain't in. I literally have 100 and something followers. I don't want more. I don't want it.
Now, we're going to get you some more. We got to people on this podcast.
To me, it's stressful. Like, leave me alone. Like, stop watching my every move. Like, get out of my life. I just don't like it.
For me, I because, like, I have a service for sale. And then I create content that I want people to consume. So I 1,000% want my following to grow, but I'm not going to buy it. Like, I'm not going to pay somebody to have a whole bunch of bots, like, click follow. That's lame to me. I would much rather have, like, right now, I'm at, like, on my business page, I'm at, like, 2,000, almost, like, 2,500, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, I know people that's got way more than me. I'm very thankful. Everybody that follows me, I appreciate you. Thank you. But that's what I was gonna say. I'd rather have 2,000 organic followers and I can like mobilize a good, I'm gonna just be honest, of my 2,000 followers, I can get about, I want to say 200 of them to tap into what I'm doing. And I base that off of like my IG story. And again, not again, but I pay attention to numbers on Instagram because I'm trying to grow my following.
People be watching your stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, you popping. I got like 15, sometimes 20, you know.
Well, but you also got to keep in mind, like, I especially over quarantine, like, I was putting time into making my story like look like something. Like, I was bored over quarantine and didn't have no content, and so I was like, I mean, I got these cameras, I'm with my kids all day, I might as well, like, me and my son go outside and do stuff, and I'll post and I'll like put it on the computer and edit it and add music and make it look dope. And actually, speaking of that, I had a really, really dope opportunity come out of that. And I've told somebody before, but never like on a podcast or anything. But so over quarantine, I'm gonna get back to what I was talking about. But over quarantine, while I was making those stories and stuff, like doing the edits and stuff, people were tapping me like, "Hey, bro, your story is fun." Like I was like pouring my coffee and doing slow mo, just doing fun stuff, right? But a guy's white dude reached out to me out here in San Diego. He like writes like indie short films. One of them he said is gonna be he's gonna put it in a festival. But he reached out to me watching my story. I've been seeing I click the button and like see who's watching my story. I do. I'm not ashamed to say like, oh, I don't care who be watching my story. Like you do care, bro. That's why you make it, because you want people to watch it. Like stop playing.
I only want to see if my crush is looking like.
I definitely like hit the button, and not every day and every post, but from time to time I definitely look in there and see how many people and exactly who is looking at my story. But I seen this dude that he randomly started following on my personal account. Randomly started following me. And was watching my story like every day, and after like 4 days of seeing this dude, or not 4 straight days, but 4 times checking my story, seeing this dude in there, I was like, let me go ahead and follow this dude. He's supporting me, showing me, let me go ahead and follow this dude. And maybe like a week later, he sent me a DM and was like, hey man, I really like what you're doing with your story. That's really cool. I like how like you incorporate your son, and like I can tell you like you're really taking your time to like be creative with that. I like that. He was like, but what specifically, I like the music that you put with it. Like you do a really good job, and it made me feel good because that's something like I really take pride in, making sure like the music is a great to perfect match with the video. Like, even when I make a basketball video, like I'll work on the edit and like I'll put a song with it. I'll have a song in mind and I put that song and it won't really work. And I find a different song and I gotta move clips around to like make the video fit the song. But I really take time to make sure that the song matches the video really well. And I was doing that with my story. And dude was like, I like how like I could tell you really take your time with like choosing the songs and stuff. Like you do a good job with that. I write short films. I want you to come to my studio and like sit with all this music that I have, and I want you to score my movie for me.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, he was like, I got licenses to like over 100 songs. He's like, I just want you to sit, and he's like, I just want you to watch my movie, and just however long it takes you, I want you to choose the music that goes with my movie.
That's tight.
Right?
Like how Kendrick Lamar did Black Panther.
Exactly.
That was perfect.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's tight.
He talking about throwing some bread to do it too. That's that'll be in May next month. Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Dang, I'm on a tangent. What was I talking about? Oh, social media. There we go. But yeah, I mean, it's easy to say now, my little 2,500 followers, but I don't see social media like getting to my head like that. That's whack.
Yeah, but you're not that type of person. You know, you're just cool. But yeah, people really are whack out here in these streets, and it's too much.
Yeah.
Like to me, you're raggedy. I don't like that. Social media, I hate it. I like it because it's like you can see your friends, like people are entertaining. I literally laugh all the time. All the little, like the stuff that people do, the comedy stuff. I love that. I'm always posting that. But this, like, everybody want to show off. It's just like, get at it. I don't like people that do that. Just stop. We get it.
Yeah, it's like, and for me, like, I get annoyed when I get like, I try Like when I'm making my IG story, like I'm thoughtful. Like if I'm filming like my son and I can see my shadow, I'll move to where you can't see my shadow. Like I think about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I create content, that stuff that I'm looking for when I'm like creating or producing or whatever, but I'm conscious about my social media, so I'm not like making fun of anybody that wants to be all like super about it, but it's
be about it, but don't be whack. Like, just be genuine.
Yeah.
Like, just be a regular human being and put out cool stuff. Like, we don't need the extra stuff, and you don't need to buy your followers. You're a weirdo.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I don't like when I can tell that somebody's like trying to make social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I don't like when I can tell somebody's trying to make it look away. Like
what do you mean? Like trying to make their life look...
Their life, or like, I feel like just be you and make what you do look dope naturally.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Don't force it. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I just hate when I see people that like you could tell it's like
extra.
Yeah, they like super like just. I guess it's easier for me. I don't want to make it sound like that, but I guess it's easier for me because I'm a content creator, so I can just naturally take what I'm doing and just
make it into something.
And make it look cool.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I'm looking at it like that. But I hate when I see people like forcing it. It's just.
Yeah.
Or you know another thing I don't like about social media while we're talking about it. I hate when somebody did something cool once upon a time, or did a couple cool things once upon a time, and they just keep sharing that same video from that. They just keep doing the same thing. It's like
anyone that does that.
I can't stand when I see people do that, bro. It's like, okay, you know famous people, or you hung out with famous people once. You gonna keep showing us that video, bro? Like, all right, bro, you went backstage. We've seen this video 6 times already. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an example. I haven't seen no backstage anything, but I just hate when I see like, what you did was dope. Like, legitimately dope.
Yeah.
I wish I could do something like that. And you showed us that once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And I was like, all right, move up, like do something else dope.
I can't.
Do something else dope.
It's just too much though, because people, like, if you don't follow them back, they think you don't like them, and follow me, do you want more followers? I'm just like, look, leave me alone. I'll follow you if I want to follow you. Don't press me to follow you. But if I see that you have a cool page and well, if you have a cool page, then I'll follow you. But if you have a cool page and my friend, like one of my friends that I actually know, well, everybody that I follow, I know for the most part. If they're following you, then I'm like, okay, I'm definitely, for sure. But I hate the follow me back, follow me, leave me be.
Let me tell you something. I know for a fact, because they brought that energy to me, I know there are grown men that legitimately 1000% get in their feelings about follow backs and everything that comes with social media, be all in their feelings. And for me, I in all honesty and just being transparent, I found myself getting caught up in it a little bit, but not because of the numbers, because of the support. Like for me, I feel like it don't take any energy or any money.
But at least your friends.
Yeah.
Then they should be following you.
And no, they were following me, but I mean like resharing my clips in your story, or you know what I'm saying, like actually commenting on my posts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, you know what? I'm not a good commenter. I don't be commenting on nothing. I be scrolling. I'm like, dang, that's tight. Because it's too much. You gotta burn everybody's stuff. Like that's how I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I just be like, oh, it's too much. It's like a job.
No, it is.
Just leave me alone.
No.
I'll like it and I'll move on.
Let me tell you something. Social media is a job, like for real. And on one hand, I know it because like I've done it. Like when I was working for the Kings, like they would throw me a little, like I was a photographer, but they would also throw me a little bread to like help with the social media and the story and the post and everything. It's time consuming. Like when I create, and granted I be producing like 3 or 4 shows at a time, but to post on Instagram, like to post at the right time when you know people are gonna be there, to make sure, like, you know what I'm saying,
your
captions are gonna grab people, that they're gonna want to read the entire caption and see what you're talking about, which I'm still not very good at.
See.
Using the right hashtag so that random people just want to search a hashtag and end up finding your video. Like actually posting it, like it can get annoying and stressful. Like I'm like it can be a lot. But I like I said, I know grown men that have. Oh, that's what I was saying. I got caught up in like getting in my feelings about social media. Because of like the support aspect, not because I want to see my numbers go crazy. Like I don't necessarily care about that.
Yeah.
I would just feel away when I would see like people that I know like love and care me and want to care for me and want to see me do well. Like never be, or not never, but hardly ever like reposting or resharing or commenting on my stuff. But I see you doing it for other people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not that guy. And I know I sound like a crybaby right now, but I'm like, I'm not that guy to be like, well, you did it for him. How come you didn't do it for me? But it's like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm your people too.
Yeah.
And I'm over here doing some dope shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying, oh, them over there aren't, because they are. And even if they're not, if that's your people, even if it ain't dope and you want to support them, go ahead. But like, let me get that love too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe the person asked them to repost it.
Maybe.
Because for me, yeah, it's a full-time job.
It is. And I would feel ways about it because like I go out of my way to support people. Like legitimately go out of my way to support people. Like, if I see you doing something, like I'm supporting.
Yeah.
Like I'm 100%. Like this sweater I got on right now. Like this is my homie's brand. Yeah. Every day you see me in with something that something in his brand. Every day. Like to the point where like people think I'm a co-owner of this brand.
Oh.
Like somebody asks me like, bro, you.
That's tight.
Like,
You're a good friend.
I try to be.
You are.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And one of the homies like, keep it funky, bro. Like you got some stock in the company. Like he gave you some equity or something, bro. I'm like, nah.
That's my friend.
That's my friend. And I pay. I don't just be like, he's giving me, let me not do that, because people are like, oh, you gave him something, let me get something too. He's giving me a few, like, of all the trill consciousness stuff that people have seen me in, I've gotten 3 things for free.
Oh, wow.
Everything else I paid for, and I paid for a full price. He'll give me discounts sometimes, and every time I'll be like, bro, are you sure? I don't have any problem paying full price.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro, you stay showing love, you stay showing support.
Yeah,
and then, like, with your show, you putting my brand in front of the kids that don't know about my brand. So, nah, bro, don't even worry about it. And I feel like that's just how it should be. I don't understand, like, not supporting.
Yeah.
I don't, like, life is just better when you showing genuine love and support.
Absolutely.
I don't see any other way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll stop.
I want to, but...
Want to what?
I want to start, support. It's not like I don't support them, like, oh my gosh, their stuff sucks. I'm like, yeah, it's tight.
Mm.
But, like, I feel like I would then have to constantly, every single time, I just want to live free. Like, I just want to post funny stuff, and that's it. Like, I don't want any obligations to anybody.
We definitely gonna get you repost and reshare some of these podcast videos. We're gonna get on that for sure. We're gonna get on that for sure.
I didn't even do that for myself.
And see, but what you're gonna see though, when you're posting about, and especially when it's your own content, like this show is, it's your content. You're gonna see though, like when you share, like for me, I enjoy like just watching back, especially if it's a funny clip. I watch it back and laugh at whatever we just laughed at. And I like inviting people into the conversation, like, hey, what you thinking about this, and talking. Like I enjoy that part of it, because even before I was creating content for myself, that's what I enjoyed doing. If I thought something was funny or thought something was dope.
Oh, when you add them?
Yeah. Or if I see somebody like in the comments that thinks the way I do, or the opposite, I enjoy going in there, enjoying the conversation about that. And I know that the comments like help with the engagements for those that care about the engagements and the numbers and the, the engagement. But anyway, I'll stop crying about social media. For real, I had to catch myself. Like I was on social media like really, really crying for a long time. Like,
really?
Not complaining. I don't want to say crying, but complaining for sure. Like, and I just had to catch myself. Like bro, the people that's rocking is gonna rock, and the people that aren't, they not. Until you super lit, and then they go come around like, oh, bro, and that's cool too. Like,
you know what about that part? Sometimes people don't even see your stuff. Like, I have a friend who was doing like rapping, But I didn't see it until a whole bunch of people started posting him, and I'm like, oh, I know, that's my friend. Like, oh, I'm gonna add him, I'm gonna follow him, and then you show love from there. But like, I'm not gonna be sitting there like, oh my gosh, oh, everyone likes you. Okay, like that's whack. I literally hate that.
I feel it. I don't know. I think I said I was gonna shut up about it. I think my friends that, well, no, I'm sure once I was about to say, my friends that I know like create stuff and that like frequently post, I try to make sure I go tap into their page a few times a week so that I can, but right when I started to say that, I started thinking about like, I'm sure I have a good like handful of friends that was like, nah, my nigga, you don't be sharing my stuff all like that. You know what I'm saying? Not to like that they in their feelings about it, but they like, why you talking about it? I don't see you do it for me, so I guess I gotta be careful with that. But for me, I try my best to repost and to reshare and to show love to all my people.
Or just simply comment.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I'm never like I said, I go out of my way to show love and support to everybody. Like was it my first? I don't think we had started doing this podcast yet. No, because this is only our second episode. But my first week doing my sports show here, I went out to Long Beach just to watch my cousin do one event at a track meet.
Oh yeah, I saw your story. Yeah.
Drove out to Long Beach to watch my cousin do one event at a track meet because he's like this sophomore phenom distance runner, you know what I'm saying, at a nationally ranked school. And I'm like, that's my cousin. Like, I gotta pull up and show love. Like, I had stuff to do back here in Dago, but I'm like, yo, if my dad is already going, the car is going, and I can make it back in time, why not go out there and show love? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because again, I would want somebody to do that for me. Yeah. But not even just because I want somebody to do it for me. That's just what it is. Like
genuine.
Yeah. People like you want when you rocking out or when you doing something or you at sports or anything, you want to be able to look up and see somebody that you know love you. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that you know love you. It's just better that way. Yeah. I don't even understand it other way, to be real with you. Yeah. It don't make no sense to me to do it any other way.
Yeah. But I feel like that's in person. This social media stuff.
That's true. You're right.
And I'm more of an in-person talker.
Okay.
I don't have one.
I just one right here. Can I go right here?
Yeah. Man, it's gonna go through me on. But yeah, dude said he bought his followers for, you know, potential jobs and stuff he won't like that, which we'll let him run his feet. But while we're talking about jobs, did you I guess you always wanted to be an actor. Was there any other job that you wanted?
Yes.
What else?
I wanted to be a spy. I'm not lying.
You wanted to be a spy?
I wanted to be a spy, yes.
What did that? Where did that come from? What made you want to be a spy?
I don't know. I guess I used to watch and I'm really into investigations.
Okay.
But like the ones in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to watch these movies about investigations, like, or just like mysteries, like Matlock and Murder, She Wrote. I used to watch this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know who did. I would always be right. Mm-hmm. I'm literally the #1 investigator. Like, if I really put my heart and soul into it, I definitely could find out who did it. Like, I really could.
I'm at the introduce you to my older brother, Stefan. He's like that. No matter what movie we was watching growing up, whether it was like a horror movie or investigation or like a whodunit, you can't watch the movie with this nigga because he's gonna tell like, nah, it was him. Watch.
Yeah, because you got.
And sure enough, every time like, bro, like, and granted, it wouldn't ruin the movie, but it got to a point where it was like me, like I've loved movies and television my whole life. I could fully watch a movie. I've seen The Temptations 1,000,000 times.
Really?
Every time I watch The Temptations, I'm fully lost. Nothing else matters. I'm all in the Temptation world. David Ruffin's the coolest nigga in the world to me. Like, I'm fully lost in the story. And so for me, like a dude that likes to get caught up in it and lost in it, he's like, nah, I can see, it's him. I'm like, bro, just let me be lost in here. Don't figure it out for me. Just let me be lost in here.
No, I'm a quiet investigator. I'm just sitting there like, I seen that move. You try to throw me off. I know it's you.
That's it? So you just want to be a spy and an actor?
I wanted to be a spy until like I really thought about, I wanted to be a, what did I say?
Investigator?
Not a, yeah, a spy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to be a spy, and then I really thought about how a real spy would have to live.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be looking over my shoulder and stressed.
That's a fact.
Heck no. But I would want to play a spy in a movie. Oh, oh my gosh.
There you go. There you go.
That would be popping.
That'd be dope.
What else did I want to be? I wanted to be a TV show host. And
Really?
Yeah, I did because of Tyra. I used to be obsessed with her. And I was like, oh my gosh, Tyra's a bomb. Like, she used to be in cute outfits. Her makeup was popping. I remember she used to like walk downstairs. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do that.
Hey, the Tyra Banks show is lit. Let me tell you something. I used to watch the Tyra Banks show every day.
Really?
No day. And then, like, I used to tell my boys they'd make fun of me. I used to watch Tyra and Ellen for real. The Tyra Banks show, the only thing I didn't like, she would talk over her guests so much. Like, Tyra, like, shut up and let this nigga talk. But I used to love the Tyra Banks show. I ain't even gonna lie. I was about to say it was my little guilty conscience, but I don't believe in guilty conscience. What you like is just what you like. I don't believe in the whole guilty conscience thing. But yeah, I used to, for real, I used to love the Tyra Banks show. She said a show host. I've always, I can't say TV, but first of all, the first thing I ever wanted to do, I wanted to be a football player.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be a football player. I always, like, football was my favorite sport growing up, and I knew, like, my dad, like, loved football, and I think that was part of the reason why I wanted to play football and play for the Steelers, because that was my dad's favorite team. Like, if I could play for the Steelers, that'd be lit, like, play for my dad's favorite team.
Sweet.
After that, of course, you start hooping, you want to be in the NBA. But all that stuff was short-lived for me. Like, I was never, like, I didn't even make the freshman team in high school. Like, I knew.
For basketball?
Yeah. Like, I played varsity basketball in high school and started a few games. My career high is only like 10 points. So wasn't never super good like that. I was pretty good in football though. But like my sports dreams were like never big dreams like that. I always wanted to, and this sounds weird, but I always wanted to, like, as a kid I used to say I want to be famous. But as I got older and like into high school, I used to say I just want everybody to know who I am for good reasons. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because in thinking about, like, some of the topics today and thinking about like what I wanted to do, I remember like even telling like my girlfriend at the time in high school, like I'm gonna be famous one day for real. Like, you gonna see. She's like, famous at what? Like, you don't even, not like hating, but just like curious. Like what are you gonna do? And I don't know. I'm gonna be famous though. Like, you gonna see. And I remember even I was like junior year in high school. And I remember, like I said, that evolved into like saying you want to be famous sounds weird. I definitely though want. I've always wanted everyone, to know my name for good reasons. And now it's turned into I want everybody to know my name for just like doing dope stuff. Aww. Like, I want people to like know me, like, hey, Mike, that nigga be producing some podcasts. Yeah. That nigga Mike, he be talking about some stuff on that podcast. You know what I mean? And then eventually when I start, writing short films and putting them like, hey, this nigga might be making some pretty good movies, bro. Like, I just want to be known for doing dope stuff and being a genuine person. But yeah, I never really like. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, in high school I wanted to be on Comic View.
Comic View?
Really? Remember the stand-up comedy show?
Yeah.
I used to want to be on Comic View. I used to watch. I remember it was Bruce. I was there watching Bruce, and I was like, and you know what's funny? Not even the kings of comedy like DL and Bernie Mac and DL, Bernie, Sid, and Steve. Not even watching them. I was like, yo, I want to do that. I remember watching Bruce on stage, and for a long time he was the host. And this fat nigga up there, like, everybody loves this nigga. Like, it just looks so cool that, like, as soon as he walk out, he got that big old smile. He's just like, yeah, you could just tell he knew that everybody loved him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He making people laugh, and it just looked like you get paid to just have a good time and make people laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, you know what? I want to do that. And then that was short-lived. It was like, I'm not even like, I'm funny, but I'm not like, like that type of funny. You know what I'm saying? I'm funny like in a small group, like whatever we talking about, I could find a way to make this situation funny. I'm not like sitting and I could just like think of some funny stuff to make everybody laugh. I don't have that. But yeah, I just wanted to be known for doing dope stuff.
Dang. Well, going back to me being an actress, because how you said, I wanted to be famous when I was younger. I never thought about being famous when I was younger. I always knew I was somebody. Like, I literally would walk around the whole world. Like, I'm somebody. Like, I literally felt that about myself. I don't know why. And I always knew I was going to be an actress. So I used to always think, you know what, somebody's just going to come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. Right. I need you in my video. That's what I thought. I didn't think I would ever have to take acting classes. I would just appear, I'd do the line, and bingo, that's it.
You know, and you know what's funny? Even though, and I talked about it last week, even though I went to a performing arts school, I didn't think that it took all of that. Like, because we would rehearse every day. Like I said, we took it serious. Like, every day, and if you didn't show up, like, if you were at school, like, the teacher, like, the drama teacher, she had the attendance. Like, so when it was time to rehearse, if she saw, like, you was at school today, and you didn't come to rehearsals, it was a good chance you might lose your part, or, like, have your, get reduced to, like, a smaller role and give it to somebody that's more committed. It was for real. Dang, I forgot why, bro. Like, as a kid, I didn't think it was all, like, acting classes and you need to do all this practice. No, I figured it was just, like, put you in the scene, put you in the moment, and you just do your thing, you know what I'm saying? Because that was kind of how it was after performing arts school. Like, we practiced, and you had to go home and, like, rehearse your lines, and if you had a monologue within, like, she used to, like, encourage us to go do it in front of the mirror and, like, pay attention to your facial expressions, like, does it look believable? Like, she would have us do all of that stuff, but I didn't know it took all of that. And it was kind of the same thing I would tell people about basketball and football. Like, I didn't know that people, like, trained on their own, like, will go home and be dribbling for hours and shooting 1,000 times. I didn't know, because my brother, like, my older brother Stefan, was just naturally good at basketball. He picked up a ball one day, started dribbling, and it was like the nigga been playing for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
He was just always good, had good court vision, could pass. Same thing with my little brother. As soon as he picked up a baseball bat and a football, he was just nice at it. And for me, I was always, like, as a kid, I was really athletic, so I started on a lot of the teams I played on. But as I got older, like, I noticed, like, my role was starting to get diminished, because, like, I was athletic, but my skills didn't really went all the way up there. Like, I knew the game, and I was a late bloomer too, so while everybody was hitting puberty and getting muscles, I was still built like a little kid, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that people put all that extra time and work and effort into it, because my brothers just naturally had it. I figured you it's something you naturally have. You go to practice and you work on the plays and you do what the coach says, and you turn into that nigga. I didn't know you had to put all that extra work into it.
I think it's both.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. But the ones that end up being something, like, they're the ones that put the work in. Like, I don't know if pretty sure you don't know his name, but Michael Beasley, he used to be in the NBA. And he calls himself, like, I'm your favorite basketball player's favorite basketball player. Like, all the hoopers, they all know, like, Michael Beasley is nice.
I heard that name.
But he never really, like, applied himself like that. Like, you could see him, like, at the game, you could tell this nigga showing up blow. Like, you could tell, like, he didn't take it serious like that. He was just naturally dope. You know what I'm saying? And so, to your point, it does take both, but I think the people that end up taking it to another level are the people like the Kobe's that are, like, obsessive about it. You know what I'm saying?
They really love it.
For sure. Yeah, I never really, like, I don't know, I think maybe that comes from, like, being a creative. I never had, like, no crazy, like, lofty dreams to, like, do a specific thing. I just wanted people to know who I was for good reasons. I guess that's a good segue into self-awareness. We was gonna talk about having self-awareness today. I forget exactly why I wanted to talk about that, but anyway, we can still get into it. Matter of fact, I'll do you how you did me last week. What's your definition of self-awareness? We'll start this one off like that. What's your definition of self-awareness?
Being self-aware, aware of thyself. Yeah, that's one definition. Being aware of thyself.
In what ways, though?
And everything that you do. Like, for me, I'm not really self-aware. Honestly, I just live in my own little world. So, like, sometimes I'll do rude things, but I don't think they're rude. To other people, I guess it would be rude. And my sister showed me that about myself, and I was like, well, I'm just thinking about how, my life. Like, I don't think it's rude. I'm just moving and grooving. But yeah, you really have to. It's too much though. I don't have time to be thinking about this person's gonna think this about me. No, I didn't mean it. I'm not a mean person, you guys. Like, I'm in my own zone. And that's what it is.
I hear it. I agree with what you say about self-awareness. I feel like I've always been really self-aware, but just, like, at times, I don't know what that is. I didn't even eat before I came in here. at times like people would tell me different things about myself and like say, I was like, for real? Like, is that what people are saying? Or is that the vibe I'm giving off? And I wouldn't even be aware. This is years ago. I feel like I'm extremely self-aware now. But I remember like, for real, like people tell me like, hey man, you gotta chill. Like this nigga over here talking about you wanna fight you. I'm like, for real? I mean, I'm not scared, but where did that come from?
Resting face?
I don't think so. I think I smile way more than I look angry.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I was about to say.
I have resting face. For
sure. You do be having that.
I didn't know. My whole life I didn't know. Like people would be like, "Oh my gosh, I thought you were mean," and I'm sitting there like, "Why? Like I didn't even do anything to you." But then I saw myself in the mirror one day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I look mean. Like I really look mean." I didn't know. I'm just like, this is my face. Like this is my. I'm literally. It's my relaxed face. Like smiling is like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so much. But when you're relaxed. You know, it's relaxing. So I have a resting face, and I enjoy it. But I don't want people to think I'm mean.
I've always, as a kid, like my teachers and like little girls and stuff that got crushed on me, like people would tell me all the time, like you smile all. That's really cool that you smile all the time. And so I just always smile. But as I got older, I don't know if I learned it like in a psychology class or what. But I learned somehow that like you can like, I don't know if trick your body into or force your body into like a better mood just by smiling. Like a really like big genuine smile like releases off endorphins that just make you feel good and it could legitimately change your day. Like you be having a bad day. And again, you don't want to just be like looking crazy just like forcing an awkward smile, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, just like not taking life or anything too seriously and just like trying to find, I'm really good at finding the good in things, like even if it's just a small little thing, and I'll zero in on that thing and find a way to be happy about that and smile about that. And so like I don't know, I've always been a smiler, like that's what I do. And it's weird now that like we all wear masks when we go out because I smile at strangers when I walk by.
But you can tell because the eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was gonna say next. You can always tell like a genuine smile by the eyes. Like, if somebody not smiling with their eyes, it ain't real. Yeah. And you know what? I've learned like I don't like my brother know like people that like have been around me for a long time know like my smiling pictures used to look super awkward and like fake and forced and cheesy. And I learned that like when you smile with your eyes, it's a better smile, it's a genuine smile. And so now like when I take pictures, I try to like think of something funny or think like about I just try to like think about something funny that like somebody's doing right now, even if it just like makes me smile like just a little bit like that, so that my smile like looks for real. And anyway, back to self-awareness. I think like just being self-aware is just knowing the vibe that you're giving off and also being accountable. Like, so I feel like being accountable, I have to keep adjusting this thing, but I feel like being accountable is a part of self-awareness. Because I mean, you can, like things can happen in any situation. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now. Like things can happen in any situation and things can happen no matter what you do. But I feel like understanding like how you're behaving in that situation and the vibe that you're giving off in the situation is a big part of self-awareness. And I also think it helps, and I learned this from my dad, I also think it helps you to become more self-aware when you can put yourself in someone else's shoes. Like if you can look at a situation, even if it's a situation that you're in, say maybe you beefing with somebody or you're not happy about the way something is going with someone else that involves you. And again, I learned this from my dad. If you can put yourself in their shoes and in their brain, even for just 10 minutes, I feel like it helps with self-awareness and it helps you in other situations to be like, well, wait a minute, let me think about this. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I don't know if I want to give that example. A friend of mine got married, and I'm trying to make sure I word this correctly. A friend of mine got married, and like things like happened with her like that changed her physically. and it made it where her husband had way more responsibility now, and they had a kid, and it made it where her husband had like all the responsibility now because of her physical situation. And this is like I love this girl. Like this is my people. Like we go back to like free lunch. Like this is my people. And when I heard like that he was like saying so, I heard that he was like, man, I didn't sign up for this. And I'm like, whoa, like that's your wife, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean you ain't signed up for this? And I remember like me and my mom talking about it. I'm like, yeah, this nigga go say he didn't sign up for this. And my dad was like, well, he didn't. He didn't sign up for this, and that needs to be acknowledged. He's like, I'm not saying he's handling the situation the best, but what he's saying is true. He didn't sign up for this. He didn't sign up to get married to a lady and things happen with her, and now he has to take care of her and the baby. He didn't sign up for that.
Oh, well, I think he did.
No, I don't think so. He signed up to be a partner. He didn't sign up to have to, he signed up to be a partner. Yeah, they were married.
Yeah, you did sign up for it. It's sickness and health. It
is in sickness and in health, and that like again, like when you put it like okay, you're right. When you put it like that, he did sign up for it. But nobody gets married and is ready. And again, I don't want to give too many details because I feel like if I give too many details, people will know exactly who I'm talking about. So I'm just keep it vague. Mm-hmm. But nobody gets married, and even if you take the vows, and when you take the vows, you should understand them and live by them, 1,000%. But nobody gets married and expects that they're gonna have to take care of the person that they just married and the baby that you just created. Like nobody.
Your baby, your wife.
Fair. But what he was saying, in my opinion, and like my dad said,
I mean, it was unexpected. I get it, but
again, he shouldn't have verbalized that to her, because like for me, like not even for me, for everybody, you can forget what someone says and you can forget what someone did, but you're never gonna forget how they made you feel. Yeah. And even if his wife forgets exactly what he said in that moment, that feeling that it had when he said that is never gonna go away.
Yeah.
And that's a part of being self-aware. You have to. And I feel like I'm really good at that. Like I'll feel a way about something, and I'll take a beat. And I mean, you see me doing it right here with the podcast. Like I'm like, hold on, let me. And again, I got that from my dad. Like hold on, Okay, perfect example. I'll give you another example. I was living in LA. I was living with my granny, and like she had some own stuff, not nothing too deep or anything, but she had some stuff going on in her life, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm in LA. Living with her, I got friends, but like my campus was way, like I lived in South Central. I don't know if people,
okay.
I don't know, I said okay, living in South Central was not sweet, but I lived in South Central and I was going to school almost in Long Beach, like in Cerritos.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's a nice little commute. And I'm feeling like this is my granny, like help me out a little bit. Like I'm out here broke, like going to school for music, like trying to chase my dream, like throw a nigga a bone, help me out a little bit. And it would have been nice, but she
did she know that you were going through things?
Yeah, she knew. She knew, and again,
and did she have the means to help you?
A little bit, and again, I see. This is the story that I hesitated to tell. I don't feel any ways about my granny. I know my cousins gonna listen to this. I don't feel any way, and she's not here anymore. All right, rest in peace to my granny. I love my granny to death. Cried like a baby at the funeral. Like I love my granny to death. I think about her every day. I kiss her picture every day. I love my granny to death. I don't hold on to anything. Yeah. It happened in like 2009. I got over it in a month. Like I promise you, I don't hold on to stuff like that. But in the moment, I was really upset. I'm like, yo, like my granny, like help me out. And I remember I was back in San Diego, back in Escondido, visiting my parents for the weekend, and my dad is taking me my dad is taking me back to the train station so I can go back to LA. And I'm just telling him like, man, like yeah, I just wish. Like, I get a little more help, like, dang, da-da-da-da. And I'm, like, talking to my dad, and this is my dad. I'm expecting him to be on my side. Mm-hmm. And my dad was like, well, son, it would be nice if she helps you, but the reality of the situation is you're a grown man living in her house. She's already doing enough by giving you a roof. She ain't got to give you nothing. You live in her house. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, this nigga right. You know what I mean? And
I don't think family should be like that.
It shouldn't be, but again, what we're talking, we're not, you're right, but about self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if I was more self-aware before speaking to my dad or before having those feelings, I wouldn't have felt so strongly like that. I would have looked at it the way my dad said. Like, bro, you live in her house. What else? And you're not paying rent.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you want her to do? Like, you're a grown man. Nigga, figure it out. You knew you was going to LA. You knew it was going to be rough. You knew you was going to be a starving student trying to chase this music dream. You knew you signed up for this. So don't get mad now when you don't have all this extra help that you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, would it have been nice? Yeah. Did she have to? Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Again, back to self-awareness. Like, what my dad gave me, that's self-awareness. Like, no, you take accountability. You're in the situation. You figure it out. Nigga, stop waiting for help. You go figure it out. I appreciate him for it. I look at everything like that now. Whenever I get tight about something, whenever I get upset about something, I'll take a moment and I'll think about it from the other person's perspective. And then I try to think the way they, because you're never going to be right. You just have to assume that that's what somebody's thinking.
Exactly.
But I remember, like, anyway, after I do that, I'll think like, man, let me see why this nigga's acting like that, or why he's thinking that way, or why he's behaving this way.
Yeah.
And I try to put myself in their brain, even if it's just for 10 minutes. And after that 10 minutes, when I'm still trying to figure it out, I'm like, nah, but he's still bugging. Then I'll be like, okay, after I've done that part of it, like I've put myself in their brain, and I still feel like they're bugging, that gives me the go-ahead to be like, nah, he's tripping. But if I can do that and be like, you know what, he's kind of making sense. That makes me kind of take a step back. Again, being more self-aware and be like, nah, you gotta look at it a different way.
Yeah, I do that too.
I don't know if that made any sense. I just rambled on.
No, it did.
Okay.
It did. I do that too, but it's just a lot to just be like,
Tell me.
alright.
I do it with.
What did I do? How did I do it wrong? And it's just like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, I do it with everything now. I do it with everything. Everything. Even this morning, we're figuring out like what time we was gonna get in here and everything. Like, I had to take him in. Like, hold on. Like, you eager to get in there and keep the, you know what I'm saying? The show must go on. You eager to get in there and you don't turn them mics on and everything. But put yourself in his shoes and, you know, think what he's thinking right now, what he's going through. Like, so chill out, my nigga. The microphones ain't going nowhere. You'll be alright. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Anywho, I feel like I've been talking too much. I gotta need some space. Like I said, I love podcasting. I like I'm a talker anyway. That's why I like podcasting. But it's like therapy for me for real.
Yeah.
It's like therapy for me for real doing podcasts. I think that's why, like, I've been thinking, like, nigga, why you want to do something? Like, I'm doing like 3-4 podcasts at this point. And I think it's because, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing one of them, but I think it's because, like, I get to just come in here. And again, I think podcasts are better when you don't, like, you have a general idea of what you want to talk about and, like, where you're going to kind of, like branch off and go. But, like, as you saw, like, when we're talking these first 2 episodes, I don't like getting too much in depth because I like arriving or like figuring out my thought process on the mic. Like, that's the kind of podcast I want to be. Like, I want people to tap in. Like, yeah, this nigga really be figuring life out. Like, right there on the microphone.
Okay.
This nigga really be figuring out like who he gonna be and like what he gonna do. Like right there, and everybody get to see it. I think it's dope.
Yeah.
The podcasts that I listen to, they don't necessarily do that, but I enjoy when they do that.
Yeah.
Anywho.
That's all like Ellen.
Yeah.
That's what she used to say after this.
Oh, she did used to say that. She did used to say that. I used to watch Ellen all the time. But yeah, that's enough venting and ranting and complaining for me for one day. You got anything else on your mind? Anything else you want to talk about?
I was watching this movie. It's like a documentary. Seaspiracy. Have you seen it? It's on Netflix.
I started it. I saw like the first. I watched the trailer and I was like, I want to watch this, and I started watching it, and then my son, my kid, started going crazy, and I couldn't finish it.
Do not use plastic, people. Do not use it. It's ruining the world. It literally is like getting into this gloopy form, and animals are eating it. Then they're dying. And you know, we eat fish and stuff and drink the water. I think we get our water from like springs and stuff. But if we needed more water, why can't we go to the ocean? I have a question about that.
You know what? I remember, because you know Jaden Smith sells the Just Water. Right? I remember seeing him in an interview talking about it, and he was saying how, like, you know, this nigga Jaden Smith is going to change the world. Or he already did a little bit. But he was talking about, like, in the research that, I don't know if it was his research or somebody else's, but he was saying, like they were seeing, like, they taking fish out of the water and cutting them open, and they got plastic in their stuff.
Yes.
And he was saying, he was like, watching another, like, 100 to 200 years, they go be cutting humans open and finding plastic in them. He's like, it's just where it's going, because we're so wasteful, and then the waste ends up in the stuff that we eat, and then we eat it.
Exactly.
You know so.
And it's like little particles too. Mm-hmm. You can't even tell. So I'm like, oh my gosh. What do I use? Paper? I went to the taco shop and she randomly asked me, she was like, do you want a plastic bag? And I was like, no plastic. I don't want any more plastic, guys. Oh my god.
You know what, that could be a good segment we do. We can like talk about whatever shows or whatever we've been watching. We gotta come up with a name for this little segment. Have you seen, I started that, I'm gonna go home and finish it so we can really talk about it.
Yeah.
One I'm gonna give to you though, it was really dope. I forget the name of it, but it's on Netflix. Do you remember Aunt Becky from Full House?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, she got it. Yeah.
I ain't watching that.
Nah, you gotta watch it. I'm telling you, you gotta watch it. Don't do me like that. I'm gonna watch yours. You gotta watch mine. Don't do me like that. You gotta watch it. It's dope though. So she everybody know Aunt Becky. I forget her real name, but anyway, Aunt Becky from Full House. She has
Lori.
There you go, Lori Loughlin. Lori
Okay.
Loughlin. Her daughter looks exactly like her, which
Her daughter's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Looks exactly like her, which I didn't know. And she had, again, I didn't know who she was at all, but she had like this crazy big YouTube and social media following.
I didn't know that.
To where, like,
she's YouTube. Like, I've never seen her.
Me neither. I'm like, how she got all these millions of followers and I've never heard of her, but that's a world that I'm not involved in. But she was getting money, having brands like pay her and send her things to use like on her social media and promote and stuff like that. And she would be on her social media like telling people like, oh my God, I hate school, I wish I could just stay home, and she's just in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could just stay home and just not have to deal with this. And even though my school is beautiful and I know education is important, but I don't like school, I wish I could just stay home. So she never wanted to go to college. It was her mom's thing. And so her mom like went through this guy, cheated their way into going to USC and then got caught.
Mm-hmm.
And her daughter lost everything, like lost all her endorsements, lost all like the brands and stuff over something that her mom did that she didn't even want to do. Like her mom forced her to, not forced her, but her mom signed her up for college the illegal way and got in trouble, and then her daughter was the one that ended up paying for it. And granted, they're rich, so it's not like.
It just makes me mad because there's this black, I don't even know, she looked like she was like 20 something, like she was kind of young, and she wanted her son to go to a better school in a better neighborhood. So I think she put her dad's address or somebody's address, used maybe a fake one, or I don't know, but she went to jail for like 7 years for that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The judicial system is raggedy.
Nah, they gotta lock people up for cheating the system like that, man.
To me, no. She wanted her son to. She didn't say he was on the rolling team or whatever and pay money. She wanted her son to have a better opportunity at life in a better neighborhood. So she took him there every single day. He didn't miss school. He would like wasn't.
Oh, she did what? She did what?
She took him to a school that was not in like she.
Oh, that's different. That's different. Yeah. Okay, I'm bugging. I'm
so she went to jail for 7 years or something like that.
That's way too harsh of a punishment.
How do you? She shouldn't be going to jail at all.
Yeah, I think Lori Loughlin did like a week in like a beautiful.
No, I think she did like 3 months.
Yeah, whatever. Still, but it wasn't even like no. I don't want to say whatever. It's the real. You know what I'm saying? I've never been locked up, so let me not minimize it. But she wasn't in no gin pop with the real. You know what I'm saying? With the real people. You know what I'm saying?
She should have been.
She should have been, but I'm saying she wasn't in there like it wasn't.
Why did she get to go to the nice prison? You know what? See, that's why I want to be a judge as well. You're going. Let me tell you where you about to go.
That's a fact.
And with the other girl, baby girl, you good. Like, go home and that baby's going to that school. Like, period. I'm not.
It's just like making examples out of black people. Nah, you gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch yours. You gotta watch mine too. I'm gonna find the name of it and send it to you. It was dope, but it wasn't again. Oh, not again. But it wasn't about the Loughlin family. It was about the guy that they used because he had he had connections like all throughout the country. Like shit, like just I'm gonna say your kid is on the rowing team. I'm gonna say your kid does horseback riding, and really legitimately like cheating. Like they had to do like say. A kid that never played water polo, wasn't even an athlete, but
I see they clip the cut and paste.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm telling you, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It was dope.
Like all these people really writing their essays, really getting into these schools for real, and you think you could pay whatever amount of money to get your child? You're ready.
And that was the part
How
that
do
was.
you feel good about yourself?
That was the part that was really heartbreaking because they opened the documentary like showing all the kids. You know, people making like the reaction videos.
Oh yeah,
laptop camera. Like, oh my God, you just got in. And they showing all of these kids crying because they're not getting into their dream school and they're not gonna be able to go. Like they didn't get accepted. And you got people over here that's taking a scholarship or taking a seat away from somebody when they cheat. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You gotta watch it though. It was dope. It was dope. I'm gonna watch yours. You gotta watch mine too.
Wait, you gotta watch something else too. Have you watched Lupin?
Lupin.
It's on Netflix.
What's that one? I might have. What's that one?
It's a mystery.
No, I haven't seen
It's kind of like Sherlock Holmes.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I watched it for the 4th time. It's not a movie, it's a little show, and it has 5 episodes so far. I just can't get enough. I really am over here. I watched it 4 times already, so I'm literally going back going like, oh my gosh, okay, that's a part. I need to remember that, because I already know like stuff that's going to come up later on that I need to hold on to. I'm really trying to figure this out. I really love being a little spy.
I feel it.
Fun.
But
you have to watch it. Yeah, Lupin. And it's in French. Watch it in French. Don't watch it in English. I hate that.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to read it.
You know what? I used to not like to do that, but I watched the movie. I think it was in French, and I just read the subtitles, and it was dope. It was
It's
a dope
way
movie. I was like,
better.
you know what? Yeah, when the audio don't matter. I mean, granted, you can't understand, so it's like you can't really watch the facial expressions all the time because you got to read and then keep like looking up. But I liked that. I still enjoyed the movie. I followed it. Like it was fun. And I wasn't a fan of subtitles because I'm an idiot that would just be reading the whole time. Like I wouldn't even be watching the action. But I finally figured I'm smart enough to be able to do both now. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Lupin. I'm gonna have to check that out. Check that one out. Yeah, man, this was fun. I'm really enjoying. We only 2 in, but I'm really enjoying this podcast. I'm liking it a lot. I'm glad you agreed to do this with me. I appreciate you. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. Anyway, this has been episode 2, No Names, Just Vibes podcast. We appreciate you rocking with us. My name is Mike.
Janaea.
And we'll see y'all next week. We out.